It's the 19th of August, 2026, and we welcome you in. It's going to be a beautiful day today. Lots of sunshine. The high around 95. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit hot. Thursday, sunny and a 20% chance of rain, 95. And then it looks like we will get into more of a rain chance on Friday, somewhere in the 40 to 50% range. But temperature's not as hot, about 91 degrees. And then the weekend looks pretty good. So there you go. Make plans accordingly. Been out watering a little bit. Had to go buy a new hose, Richard.
Yes.
Brand new garden hose.
Yes.
Because the other one busted a seam, so to say.
Did you try to fix
Busted
that
a
one
gut.
first?
No, I'm taking it back.
Okay.
I hadn't had it a year.
Yeah.
And the thing busted. Oh, these are kink free. They don't kink and they won't break. And I'm
Nothing
like,
about- nothing about not
whatever.
breaking? Okay.
It's a brand new hose. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah. I tried to fix mine when it bust like that. I went and got some good old-fashioned duct tape, and I, started about 5 inches to the left of where the split was, and then I
Worked
went
your
all
way.
the way, all the way across it to 5 inches to the right. Waste of good duct tape.
Yeah, I started to go, we keep seeing the ads for the boat that has holes in it.
Oh, sure.
And it's got, I forget what you call that stuff.
Flex
Whatever
Seal.
it is. Flex
Yeah,
Seal.
Flex
Yeah, I
Seal.
was like, I'll go get some Flex Seal. I was like, no, I won't.
Yeah.
I'm taking this back.
Yeah, good plan.
Yeah, just
yeah.
forget
I
it.
can tell you that the duct tape split just as quickly as the hose did.
Mm-hmm.
It
And then
makes no difference, yeah.
yesterday you get this beautifully wound hose, right? It's got, all the little things to hold it in place, and it's just wound beautiful.
Right, 'cause zip
But
ties,
it's
yeah.
it's really the worst thing they could possibly do, because then when you undo it, then it starts kinking,
Yep.
and then you have to keep twisting it and getting it to straighten out, and if not, then it. I mean, is there not a better answer to a garden hose?
Are you suggesting
for
they
the
sell
love?
straight hoses?
I don't know.
Well,
I
sell
don't
us
know.
a hose that's not
Something
wound up.
that's I don't know what you do, and it's probably one of those stupid ones that are on the ad. That, it
Yeah.
shrinks like the snake, and then
Those are
that-
useless.
I bought one of those. They do not work.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, you don't want that.
I don't
believe
want
me.
that. As a matter of fact, I bought a black hose, one of those, and I wish I hadn't, because every time I pass it in the yard, I think it's a snake. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, hoses are one of the great homeowner bugaboos.
Yeah, it is a bugaboo.
No question about it.
How did I go like 10, 12 years with not a single problem
Mm-hmm.
in my old house, and now it's like, what am I in? Garden hose hell here, or
Some
what?
of it has to do with the kind of hose. I had a hose when I lived in Highland Park, and I wish I could remember the brand name of it or anything about it. It was the most perfect, never kinked, never twisted, never wound. I'm pretty sure I paid a good bit of money for it, but I've been unable to find anything that even vaguely resembles it since then. And I'm like, oh, of course they had to stop making it. It worked.
That's
We
exactly
can't
right.
have that.
Yeah,
And I think what happened was I left it there when I moved out like an idiot. Like an idiot.
yeah.
Why would I
Just
do
give me
that?
the plain old green hose that, again,
Mm.
it works so great.
Mr. Bugs, MRBUGGS.com, MrBugs.com. They know what bugs you. When you are working outside, maybe you're hosing something off, and you don't want to be attacked by skeeters, then you need mosquito reduction from Mr. Bugs. These guys are great at what they do. They know where to spray, what to spray, when to spray, and how much to spray. And they really do reduce the number of mosquitoes in your yard. And you think, well, this can't. I mean, I've watched the guy spray a couple of times, and I'm like, how is this actually actively reducing? All I know is that it does. It absolutely, positively does. And in this weather and in this time, this summer, man, oh man, crazy not to try it. Mr. Bugs mosquito reduction plus termite bonding, pest control, obviously, small rodent control. They do all of it. Get it all bundled together at one great low price. Mr. Bugs, they know what bugs you. 941-6252.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, we did have some elections yesterday. Yep, little primary action. Florida was the big one that people were most interested in. And I'm so happy to say that Alexander Vindman lost his race. He lost out to, it was to one of these Democratic Socialists of America. But there's very little fear that she's actually going to become the next senator from Florida, so I'm not that concerned about it. But I'm just glad to see that Alexander Vindman is out of the picture. This was the guy, the weasel, that was at the heart of the very first Trump impeachment years ago. Tried to build a mountain out of a molehill. Democrats helped, and in the long run, it turned out to be nothing, of course. But he is one of those guys. You know, he showed up every day for hearings wearing his Air Force uniform, even though he was retired Air Force, had all of his medals on him, thinking, there are a lot of people who come and testify who are in the military, don't wear their uniforms, never show up wearing the, especially people who are retired. This is the kind of guy that you just wanted to beat him up and take his lunch money, you know?
Yeah, and so Angie Nixon, who is the one that defeated him, is going to take on Ashley Moody, who's a Republican, and Ashley will more than likely clean the carpet with her.
I certainly do hope so. Of course, Byron Donald also won in the Republican primary for gubernatorial candidate, and he's going up against a former Republican who is now running as a Democrat. Outside of that, not a whole lot of stuff worth talking about. Wyoming basically looks like it's going to go entirely Republican this time.
How about that?
That's pretty cool. We'll take that deal.
You know, does it feel to you like the Democrats have given up to the whole Democratic Socialist group? It's like, okay, you know what? We can't beat you, so we just want to join you. And I don't know, maybe they lean more Democratic Socialist than we ever believed, because it sure does feel that way.
We're not getting as much research on that. And I think it's because this whole thing kind of popped up and surprised these guys. Zoran Mamdani seemed like an outlier, and now it's becoming more and more of a thing. But we just found out yesterday that the Democratic Party's favorability ratings is 25 points lower than it was in 2018.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah, it's pretty
if that's
significant.
Correct, because
yeah.
you know where we are.
Well, it's true.
Polls.
The polling is completely goofy. Oh, I read it. This when you're up in the middle of the night because of insomnia, you find these great stories. This polling organization shut down. You saw this, right?
It was fake.
It was fake.
It was fake.
They were like, oh, yeah, this was a social experiment. And one of the polls that they had done and were touting far and wide was the crazy gubernatorial candidate in Wisconsin and how she was up by 20 points. She ended up losing by half a point.
Yeah.
But they just admitted, they're like, we
made that up.
Yeah, we were never really a polling organization. We were just screwing
playing around.
And the press just took what they said and ran with it. You know, you're like, whoa.
That's why it's so important to at least make sure that you're looking at a reliable polling source.
Yeah.
Even though, again, we're up against some pretty tough, things when we talk about AI and we talk about how they really know that. I mean, who are you talking to? I don't know about you. How many times do you get something on your phone? I don't answer it.
Nope.
I don't know. Again, you don't know who really they're talking to.
No clue. Trump says we're not talking to Iran. No ongoing talks. He says the Strait of Hormuz is open. Well, open is a relative term. We're getting 10, 12, 15 ships through there a day, not the 100 that we should be getting.
We'd like to have more.
Getting about a tenth,
yeah.
But, at least we are moving some through there. Iran says the strait is closed and it will remain closed until such time as the United States adheres to the agreements that it made back in June. I'm like, no. The memorandum of understanding that you guys blew up 2 weeks into it.
It's done.
Yeah, we're not going to be adhering to that. We're not going to be doing any of that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to continue to choke you off economically until such time as you collapse as a government, as an economy, and then we will have our way with you. It's basically how that's going to go. Straight as
sounds like a good plan.
Thank you very much. I came up with it while I was
nice, Richard. Thank you.
Struggling.
They're
with
not paying you
insomnia last
enough.
night. They are. I agree.
Yeah.
How about the Alabama high school football coach that showed up to the game drunk, claiming to be a reporter? Gunnersville High School football coach has resigned. He was arrested on charges of public intoxication. Jerry Folks submitted his resignation to the Gunnersville City Board of Education during a special called meeting Monday. That according to a statement from the Gunnersville City School System. Effective immediately, Mr. Folks is no longer employed by Gunnersville City Schools, said the statement. Because this is a personnel matter, Gunnersville City Schools will not comment further regarding the circumstances surrounding his resignation. Folks was the new defensive coordinator and associate head coach at Gunnersville High School until he decided to get blasted before the game. According to the Arab Police Department, during a jamboree game at Arab High School, Folks tried to obtain access to the sideline area after telling officers he was a member of the media. Speaking with Mr. Folks, officers suspected he was intoxicated and escorted him out of the stadium. No, it's okay. I'm a reporter.
I'm a reporter
and I have to be on the sideline.
This is exactly how he sounded.
Following a brief investigation, officers determined that Mr. Folks was in fact intoxicated.
That's really, it's really sad. You've lost your job over this.
Yes.
And that was just a dumb move. Or you have a real problem with alcohol and probably should go get some help.
I think that's a given, yes. It seems to me that really you don't show up for work loaded. That's a bad idea for starters. And then lying about why you're there and what role you're playing,
well,
probably
again,
also not a good idea.
Showing up to work loaded is one thing, but you're showing up to work loaded around kids.
Yeah.
I mean, young kids,
Yeah.
impressionable kids.
Exactly.
So, the list goes on. Let's check all the boxes of things that are wrong with
And
this.
he's like, who did you think I got the booze from?
The kids?
It was in the
It's like the
it's
drugs
in
at
the
Alabama.
lockers. Yeah.
Not at Alabama, but at
Penn State, yeah.
Penn State, thank you. Well, there was some at
Oh,
Alabama. That
there
was years
some.
ago.
Years ago.
Yeah,
Those
that's a
were the
whole nother
days.
story.
Flipsy's Furniture, Designer Furniture at wholesale prices. As you know, Labor Day is on the way, and don't you know there's going to be a Labor Day sale? There always is. Now, that shouldn't stop you from going and taking advantage of Flipsy's fabulous low prices now, because it is Designer Furniture at wholesale prices. It is the place that you can get that white glove delivery, the 12 months, same as cash. Furniture of all different kinds, makes, and models. You're going to love the entire array. You're going to find something that fits your room, your bedroom, your dining room, your living room perfectly. You're going to find that occasional piece that you've been looking for. You're going to find that suspended ceiling light that you've wanted, or the artwork that you think is going to go perfectly on your walls. It's all there in the Irondale location, 1811 Crestwood Boulevard, or you can go to the Hoover-centric location, which is right there on Highway 31 in Hoover, next to 2nd and Charles. Flipsy's Furniture, don't forget to ask about the white glove delivery, because you are going to really adore that. It makes every other furniture delivery system look like a booger, and I mean that. Flipsy's Furniture, 1811 Crestwood Boulevard in Irondale, Highway 31 in Hoover, across from the Galleria. It is designer furniture at wholesale prices, and it's online at flipsysfurniture.com. Yeah, a little wild cherry there. Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. On the app and on YouTube at youtube.com, Real Talk 995 TV. Check us out. We're everywhere. It's just the reality of the situation.
Yep, and the app, man, just so many great things on there. The podcast, if you miss any of our shows and want to go back to hear something or you miss something, and text us, call us from that, and listen to us, watch us on YouTube from there. You can do it all. I tell you, talking about being able to do it all, when you talk about foundation issues in and around your home or water issues, they really can do it all. I'm talking about David Feven and the guys at Be Dry. This is incredible what they can do. And for a limited time only, this isn't going to last too much longer. 25% off encapsulation. Take advantage of that. Be Dry doesn't care if you take advantage of it. They just want to help resolve whatever issues you have around your home. If you see that cracking in the foundation, I know some of you have seen it and thought, one of these days I'll get around to it. It's really serious, and it can get a whole lot worse. You see cracking anywhere in the foundation of your home, it's really worth a call to Be Dry. Let them come out and at least see what's going on. It may be something minor and not a big deal. It could be like, hey, we need to get out here and fix this. They'll give you a free quote to tell you everything, the entire process, and what this will involve. 205-942-1976. But don't delay. You cannot let cracking in the foundation continue without really knowing what's going on with your home. And anything water-wise, mildew in the basement, water in the crawl space, these guys are the experts in the field to make sure that they get that out of there and get it fixed and get it right. And don't forget, too, they have the strongest lifetime warranty in the business. You're dealing with a company that's been in business for more than 6 decades. You can have a lot of confidence in Be Dry. BeDryAlabama.com or call them right now, 942-1976.
725 with Dixon and Vining. And, we were just talking about how difficult it is to commit a crime nowadays because there's cameras everywhere and we're all carrying our own little homing devices. But it's also getting harder and harder to get away with lying. I was watching a little bit of a podcast, and I couldn't tell you who the name of the guy was, but he had Chris Cuomo on, which was interesting. And Cuomo was trying to engage in revisionist history about COVID. The host said, you guys, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You were one of the people out there claiming that ivermectin was horse medicine and no one should be taking it. And Cuomo's like, I absolutely did not. That is not true.
Play the clip.
And the guy goes, let's play the clip.
Right.
And they bring out, there it is. He's there with Don Lemon from the CNN days, and they're both laughing about Joe. Oh, Joe Rogan's taking horse medicine. What an idiot. They came back, and Chris was just completely cowed. He was so totally, and this is where we are now. We have the tapes. We're able to see where Randy Weingarten, who's the head of the National Education Association, a.k.a. Teachers Union, is saying we need to shut down the schools. Mm-hmm. And now she comes, I never said that. I never roll the tape. Here it is.
There. Yeah, and more so, it's so much more accessible to all of us. Years ago, it would be like somebody would say something, well, an ABC or an NBC or somebody had the clip. We didn't have access to that clip. You go to Google now, or you just real quick on your phone, within about 15 seconds,
we can
pull that clip up and go, this is what he said.
Yeah. I
mean, it's not complicated. And these guys that keep saying, I didn't say that. Well, did you forget what you said? Or what you said, I guess you think we're all dummies and we're not going to be able to find it.
Hey, to admit it now or what the situation is. Basically, a lot of people were going with the flow. During that time, being an outlier, being the kind of person like an Alex Berenson who was going to stand up and go, no, all this stuff is wrong. You're a pariah at that point, and suddenly nobody wants to talk to you, and Twitter throws you off their platform, and you're all alone in this world until the truth begins to slowly unroll, and then suddenly you're welcomed back as a conquering hero and one of the few people that actually knew what you were talking about. But that's a difficult road to take. It's so much easier to just laugh about Joe Rogan taking horse medicine along with everybody else and how hydroxychloroquine doesn't do anything. And Donald Trump said you should inject bleach. Let's roll the tape.
Yeah.
Nobody said inject bleach. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, and the thing about all of this is that it was bad enough that they were dismissing things like ivermectin. They were actively, our government, Joe Biden and others, were actively trying to keep this information from getting out to the American people on social media, Twitter at the time it was, and on Facebook and Instagram and all these other sites. Had we had the information, wow, what a different result we may have had. There may be a lot of people that wouldn't have lost their lives. Had we been able to have the open discussion of, hey, is it possible that these medicines could work? And you get some doctors on board going, you know what, we're going to look into this real quick and see if maybe there's an option to use this to keep people from going into hospitals and being put on ventilators. Everybody shut that down, including these guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Cuomo and Lemon and everybody else was like, they wouldn't even allow the discussion, and that's what was part of the problem through the pandemic.
Could have feasibly ended the pandemic sooner.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we knew that there was a cure that was out there that was readily accessible already here, and we didn't then suddenly start to shove these mRNA vaccines, which, by the way, I'm nothing against mRNAs. Some of them may be very, very helpful. This one was untested, untried, and ended up, especially in children, doing more harm than good. Old people can still use it, you know? When I say old people, I'm talking about me, of course.
As you cough and try to breathe.
As I wheeze my way through another show today, pretty sure it's either COVID or the shot that gave me this problem. I can't absolutely say for certain because nobody is that interested in finding out. 7:30, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. I know a ton of people love Olive Garden, love it. Go there a couple of times, 3 times a year maybe. Apparently there are some dishes that you should not order. We'll get into it. Little Poncho and Lefty. Boy, I love me some Willie Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
Was that is that the duet version? Did he do that?
It is. Merle Haggard.
Merle Haggard. That's what I thought. Yeah, I had that duets CD of Willie Nelson's at one point, and I'm sure I lost it in the divorce. But wow, just really, there's not a bad song on that album. Every one of them is just a home run. My personal favorite is Seven Spanish Angels with Ray Charles.
I totally forgot about this album.
Yeah.
We need to go back and pull
Pick
it
it
up. And
Oh, so good. 737 Dixon Dividing Talk 99.5, talk995.com. See, this is why we say best bumper music in the business.
Yep.
Steve pulls out the stuff you forgot existed,
Mm-hmm.
and we love it. Okay, 11 dishes you should avoid ordering at Olive Garden, written by Hunter Ren Millet.
Are these in any
This
order?
is from Tasting Table.
Like-
I don't think so.
No, they're just, these are the 11.
Yeah. If you don't know about Olive Garden was actually a concept by somebody who worked for a restaurant chain that already existed. I can't remember what chain it was, but they said, Chi-Chi's Mexican restaurant chain all over the country. There are others that. How come we don't have any Italian chain restaurants? We could do an Italian-American chain restaurant. And the business plan was amazing because they built all the restaurants at the same time and they opened them all on the same day. That doesn't happen.
That's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, normally you roll them out a little at a time, but they decided that they were going to do this on a grand scale, and they did, and lo and behold, it worked. And one of the proudest moments I've ever had in my life is when I found a CD that my daughter burned that was Led Zeppelin, and it had just a bunch of Zeppelin deep cuts on it. I was like, oh, I raised this kid so right. And one of the most depressing moments was when she asked me for her birthday if she could go to Olive Garden. And I was like,
I didn't raise you right.
You're an amazing chef. You know Olive Garden's not good. She's like, but I can't stay away from it,
It's all
Dad.
that butter and cheese. You got to have it.
I guess so.
Mm-hmm. And
Well-
the garlic rolls and salad.
Look, I'm never going to say a word against their breadsticks.
Yeah.
Here's number one. Don't order the 5-cheese ziti.
What's wrong with it?
Oodles upon oodles of cheese can't save this dish from achieving nearly 24% of the votes in a poll conducted by Mashed that has 645 frequenters of Olive Garden to name their least favorite menu item. Although we can't say for sure what caused the dislike, we know that the secret behind the famed 5-cheese marinara sauce that adorns this pasta dish isn't as unique as one might think. Instead of crafting a sauce from scratch the Italian way like the restaurant claims it does, Olive Garden doesn't want you to know that the 5-cheese marinara is just a mix of the restaurant's other two sauces, marinara and Alfredo.
Mm-hmm.
We're on to you, Olive Garden.
But is it
We're
good,
on to
you know?
Mm.
Does it taste good?
Fried mozzarella.
What's the matter with that?
Well, instead of being sticks, they cut it into kind of squares.
Kind of looks like a
Yeah.
hash brown
Mm.
from McDonald's.
A smaller version.
Yeah.
Much smaller. Ideally, mozzarella sticks should be incredibly gooey, easily pulling apart to reveal a string of melted cheese. We all agree with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, Olive Garden's fried mozzarella tends to snap rather than stretch when pulled apart. In addition to the lack of stretch, the cheese patties are barely lukewarm and excessively greasy.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's what's wrong with that, Steve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I understand now.
Asked and answered. Herb grilled salmon.
I like salmon.
Olive Garden salmon dish comes doused in garlic herb butter with a side of Parmesan and garlic-coated broccoli. Unfortunately, the butter does nothing to save the dense cut of farm-raised salmon from a dried-out, flavorless fate.
Ooh.
An ideal piece of salmon flakes away at the slightest nudge of the fork, but Olive Garden's dish requires a steak knife to hack away at it.
Oh, that's not
Grief.
good.
The
No.
cheesy broccoli does nothing to provide solace for this sad meal. It's severely lacking in both the Parmesan and garlic departments. Oucha magoucha.
Yeah, you should be able to just use a fork and barely.
This is gonna
Like they said.
This is gonna leave a mark on the restaurant.
that's not
Man, that's a
good.
brutal review right there. Number 4, chocolate lasagna. The abomination that is Olive Garden's chocolate lasagna consists of layers of chocolate cake with whipped mousse in between, topped with a thin, crispy wafer and drizzled with chocolate sauce, which is really the same thin syrup that one would use to make chocolate milk. This dessert is the permanent replacement for a previous limited time only Olive Garden treat called the chocolate brownie lasagna. This dessert was a fan favorite, complete with moist brownies and whipped cream, And while this option was also nothing like lasagna, we didn't mind because we were in love. The replacement dessert lasagna couldn't hold a candle to Olive Garden's previous masterpiece.
So it's just chocolate cake, right?
Essentially,
That's what
yes.
we're looking at.
With chocolate mousse in between the layers.
All right.
Dense chocolate cake with chocolate mousse.
I think when I'm going to Olive Garden, I'm not thinking about their dessert.
How about spinach
Not
and
really,
artichoke dip?
Yes,
thinking about
I
that?
love
Usually I like
spinach.
that, yeah.
I love spinach and artichoke.
Usually I
At,
like that.
at Olive Garden or just
I
anywhere?
Well,
in
don't
I
know
don't
if
know.
I've ever had it
I
there.
don't think I've had it there either.
One of the things the former Mrs. Dixon made very well, spinach and artichoke dip. You would usually take it to parties, and it was always a hit. The spinach and artichoke dip at Olive Garden is disappointing, to say the least. To start, the dip cools down in a matter of minutes. It transformed before your eyes from a steaming bowl of chunky liquid to a solid, which makes dipping next to impossible. Next, the dish is served with what the restaurant deems flatbread crisps, an enigmatic dipping vessel that falls somewhere between bread and chips. They're not quite soft, but lack any desired crunch. If that wasn't depressing enough, Jesus.
Yikes.
The main attraction of the dip, the cheese, is horrifyingly scarce. Most of the dip is heaps and mounds of spinach with a few artichoke shreds strewn about and very little cream and hot gooey cheese.
Well, that sounds horrible.
Wow.
I don't think I'll ever get that.
I do have to ask, is this just one person or is this several people that are contributing to this article?
It looks like just one person has written this
This
one.
is like one massive
Hunter
pitch session, isn't it?
Ren Millet. Yikes.
Yeah,
What
the,
the
the
heck?
chips are
This
too.
guy's got a massive
The-
something against Olive
The
Garden.
chips are too thick.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at them, you're like, no, you need just a little
Mhm.
like scoop of some sort.
One would think.
These are no.
Number 6, chicken and cheese piadina. I have no idea
I don't
if
even
I'm
know what that
pronouncing that
is.
correctly. Those looking for a light but filling lunch option to enjoy alongside a fresh salad or comforting soup will be disappointed to find that Olive Garden's piadina is nothing short of a greasy mess. Along with its greasiness, the cheese isn't melted properly, leaving chunks of cold cheese floating among mouth-scorching melted globs.
Ooh.
The vegetables that the menu promised exist within this Italian-style sandwich are few and far between. You're better off avoiding this Olive Garden item at all costs and sticking to the classic trio.
Oh.
So it's a sandwich.
Yeah, it's a
Apparently so.
sandwich like a panini or something like that, and then they claim there's veggies in it.
I'm not
And
going to an
they're-
Italian or
no.
Italian light restaurant for a sandwich. Sorry.
Yeah.
Here we run across something that I've actually had at Olive Garden.
Okay.
The cheese ravioli.
And?
I think I've had that too.
Olive Garden manages to ruin its simple cheese ravioli by, we suspect, not draining the filling before adding it to the pasta pockets. When you bite into the ravioli, a pool of water spills out,
Oh, no,
Whoa,
no, no.
watering down your sauce until it's a thin, sloppy mess. The cheesy interior of the ravioli is nearly imperceptible, with each pasta pouch seemingly composed of equal parts water, air, and cheese.
Water?
Opting for any other pasta dish on the menu would be a wiser choice, ensuring your sauces remain undiluted.
I mean, fire the chef. What do you got? Water in the pockets of the ravioli? No.
I can
That is
vouch
an
for
F.
this.
You get an F.
This was my experience as well.
Water.
Same experience for you? Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I was
Uh,
wondering if it might be endemic to one restaurant.
I wasn't just biting into it though. I was cutting the ravioli into pieces, like I'd cut one in half, and this liquid comes spilling out, and you're like,
What
did the
is that?
cheese separate in there, or what happened? You know, why is it? And the sauce is already pretty bland, so it just got worse from that point on. Made sure to never order that again. Shrimp frito misto.
Well, there's a name.
What makes this traditional dish delicious is its use of a variety of different seafood items, all fresh caught from the Mediterranean. Olive Garden shrimp is hardly a substitute. Additionally, the breading that the chain uses is overly greasy and salty, thus masking any flavor from the shrimp or vegetables. Instead of an appetizer with multiple flavors and textures, you're left with an overly beige, greasy mess that tastes like nothing but breading and salt.
Yeah.
Overly beige.
Overly beige.
I've
There's
never
a
heard
new criticism
food.
for me.
Yeah, instead of notes, now we have beige.
But how does the mouth feel?
Yeah, exactly. A little watery, actually.
Meatballs parmesan.
These look disgusting. Can I just say the picture they showed? This is disgusting.
Not a good picture. Okay.
It's awful.
Olive Garden's meatball parmesan consists of meatballs, house-made marinara sauce, melted cheese, and breadcrumbs. The dish is simple, elegant, and the perfect combination of ingredients to get your appetite geared up for a hearty pasta meal. Olive Garden makes its meatballs with beef rather than pork and seasons them well with fresh-tasting Italian herbs and aromatics. But the Meatballs Parmesan dish manages to ruin these delicious meatballs by serving them with very little sauce, which leaves a bland and dry disaster on your plate where a flavorful and juicy appetizer should be. Solo meatballs aren't much of a meal either, and a drizzle of sauce and a light sprinkle of cheese and breadcrumbs doesn't amount to much. What sauce is present in the dish is thin and oily, eviscerating the breadcrumbs and leaving a glue-like goop to coat the meatballs in the inside of your mouth with each bite.
Well, at least it's not beige. That is the image that's just gross.
Person really
It's like,
paints
what's
a
in the
picture.
bottom of the meatball pan? Is that
Oily
supposed to be
sauce.
sauce?
Oily sauce.
That's it, oily sauce.
Ugh.
Number 10, seafood Alfredo.
Oh, I like that.
Former employees have reported that Olive Garden's meats and seafood come previously frozen. No kidding.
Oh.
While it doesn't come as a shock, consisting the OG is famous for its relatively low prices and subpar but still tasty fare. Any seafood lover will tell you that freezing seafood seriously alters its taste and texture, especially when it comes to delicate scallops. While the shrimp is passable, the scallops in this dish are chewy and
Be
overcooked.
careful with the scallops.
Just
Be
another serious
careful.
scallop faux pas. Fresh seared scallops are meant to be cooked thoroughly but lightly to avoid compromising their texture, the most beloved aspect of these tender medallions. To add to this texture mishap, we suspect that the seafood is not properly drained, like other Olive Garden menu items on this list, before adding to the pasta, resulting in excess water that thins the sauce and gives it a bland taste.
Man, rough.
And last but not least, number 11, Zuppa Toscana,
Bless you.
Tuscan soup.
What is it? Oh, Tuscan soup? Oh, no. You've lost me already.
Olive
Again,
Garden's
not going to Olive Garden
no,
for soup.
I'm not.
Olive Garden
Salad? Okay.
Come on. What about the rat's foot soup? Would you try
Ah.
that?
I'm good.
Okay.
No, appreciate it.
Olive Garden's take on Zuppa Toscana isn't horrendous.
Isn't it horrendous?
Wow. High
that-
praise indeed. But it doesn't come close to showcasing how delicious this soup can be. The broth is overly salted, meaning the chef prepared the soup likely doesn't take the time to balance the saltiness of the broth with the sodium in the sausage. The kale isn't prepped properly beforehand, so prepare for chunks of the bitter green with the ribs still attached. Potatoes and sausage are seriously lacking in the soup, so the next time you stop into the OG for an unlimited lunch trio, opt for the fan favorite chicken and gnocchi. What is it? Gnocchi soup?
You
Is
know
that
what?
it is?
You
Yeah.
can go with gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
I've always heard it
Gnocchi.
pronounced gnocchi.
Okay, we're going with
Gnocchi.
gnocchi soup. I wish they spell it the way it sounds. All right, so there's 11 items. I would say there's more than that at Olive Garden. You shouldn't order, but
and
you
again,
know, yeah.
you can come up with 11 items from a restaurant that you should not order. You might want to question your business model.
It's funny to me that these people really get creative when it comes to writing bad reviews. Writing good reviews,
AI.
they're like,
They
oh, it's
used,
got some
AI.
nice notes and it's
Yeah.
got a good mouthfeel and blah, 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 blah. But when you start talking about this and going, well, it's not horrendous, but it's so close. Oh, wow, okay. Woo! 749 Dixon inviting Talk 99.5, talk995.com.
Oh, right after it, 12 dishes you
7:55, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Dixon and Vining. And HHM Roofing and Construction, here to help with your roofing situation. You know, there's hail damage that could be happening here in the next couple of days. We're going to have maybe some severe weather coming up on Friday and drifting a little bit into Saturday, or so they suggest. Sometimes just the heat itself can do the damage as your shingles begin to curl up and maybe crack from the dryness of it all. What you really need is somebody who's able to come by, give you the once-over, inspect your roof, and then start talking about maintenance and the best way to upkeep it. Now, look, the first thing you're thinking is, oh, sure, I get them out here to take a look at it, and immediately they're going to find a whole bunch of problems, and they're going to have all kinds of money that it's going to be. No, that's not how HHM Roofing and Construction works. They're very, very serious about coming out and telling you exactly what's happening with your roof. And if there is nothing wrong with your roof today, nothing that absolutely positively needs to be fixed immediately, they're going to tell you so. You know why? Because they want you to trust them time after time after time after time. They want you to believe that what they are saying is true, because it is true. And there's enough honest work out there for all the roofers that they don't need to lie to you about these things. They've got an instant estimator on their website. They are 1,000% transparent, and they have nothing but 5-star reviews. There's not a single review that is less than 5 stars. You got to check them out. HHM Roofing and Construction, hhmroofs.com, hhmroofs.com, 396-7077, 396-7077 for HHM Roofing and Construction. Thomas drops us a joke in place of Jeff, who has not had one to us in a while, I guess now. I once had a job making plastic Draculas. There were only 2 of us on the assembly line, so I had to make every second count. All right. Got yourself a rim shot, Thomas.
Pretty good.
McGee, in terms of old bands that need to be hanging it up, I'd much rather listen to a talented young cover band than cringe through old crocs who no longer can do it. Okay. Neverkink hoses are great, says Grant. The brand name is Neverkink.
That was the previous hose that I bought and the one that I bought yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
That's what they say on the packaging.
Okay.
They kink. Say what you will.
Liars.
Never kink.
Liars. Everything is so disposable these days. Not at a disposable price, though, says Tracy. I guess that's true, huh? All right, that's pretty much all the text line is a little quiet today. I wonder if is there something wrong with it? Is it not working properly, or
it's sporadic?
I don't know. Usually,
it's a little sporadic.
When we start talking about messages, or I'm sorry, recipes and things at restaurants that are good or bad, the thing blows up. Mm-hmm. And we have not had a text.
Well, Wednesday, it may be a very busy day in the office, is what it is. Oh, it's midweek. Everybody's got to. They're like, I got to hurry. I got to get this done.
Stick with that.
They'll be back tomorrow.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're listening. They just, they're busy.
Being the tennis player she is, Valerie brought this up to us yesterday. Amanda Anisimovan's mystery drink. She was on the sidelines in between matches, and she was she's playing Alexander Ila, I guess. Is that how that's pronounced? I don't know. Mm-hmm. And people were like, "What is she drinking? It looks like a beer."
Yeah.
Looks for all the world like it's a beer.
It's the yellow color with looks like some beer head on top of the cup.
Pale ale, perhaps, an IPA. We don't know.
In a plastic cup, because they can't go out there like if she had, drinking out of some kind of bottle or something. They say you have to put it in there because of brands and things like that.
Sure. They have sponsors, and you can't, be seen drinking something that's not a sponsor of the program or whatever the case may be. Eventually, it was deemed to be Red Bull. And I think part of the problem is very rarely do people actually pour Red Bull into a cup, so you don't really know that it's yellow.
I've never seen a Red Bull that looks like that.
I've never looked, but it's weird to me that there's that much foam.
That much foam.
I'm kind of like, really?
And then some people said, well, could it be like a non-alcoholic beer? But still, why would you be drinking that during a tennis match? But it sure does look like beer. I've never seen anything. I don't know of anything that looks like that.
One ex-user said, Amanda Anisimova just casually slugs Miller Lite, hits 74 unforced errors, and easily defeats Alexander Ila. This is what American tennis is all about.
Ain't
love it.
America great?
8 o'clock, Dixon and Vining.